Good afternoon. My name is Zach Thompson, and I'm the Clay County Prosecutor. I want to begin by saying that my heart goes out to the child and family involved in this case. My goal during this process has been and will remain to be seeking justice for him. I wish him and his family strength and healing moving forward. This afternoon, my office received a criminal referral from the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. After a thorough review of the case file, the appropriate laws, and information gained during the investigation phase of the case, I filed 2 felony counts. In count 1, the defendant, Andrew D. Lester, is charged with the Class A felony of assault in the first degree in that on or about April 13, 2023, in Clay County, Missouri, he knowingly caused physical injury to P.Y. by shooting him. This is an A felony. It carries with it a range of punishment of up to life. In count 2, the defendant is charged with armed criminal action. This is an unclassified felony. It carries with it a range of punishment between 3 to 15 years. The state is alleging the defendant committed the felony of assault in the first degree as charged in count 1 by, with, and through the knowing use, assistance, and aid of a deadly weapon. As a result of these charges, a warrant was issued for Mr. Lester's arrest, and bond was set at $200,000. Our office worked closely with the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department during this case, and we would not be here today but for their hard work. We understand how frustrating this has been, but I can assure you that the criminal justice system is working and will continue to work. As with any serious case, we approached this one in an objective and impartial manner. We look forward to obtaining a just result. With that being said, and understanding this is a pending criminal matter, I will do my best to answer a few questions.
Mr. Prosecutor, how did you arrive at this so quickly? Just yesterday we were doing a news conference and so little was known. Now the case file is brought over from KCPD today and we're here just a couple hours later.
A charging decision was not made until a thorough review of the file occurred. We worked closely with the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department during the course of the investigation and used information from that investigation in making our decision.
Is Lester in custody?
My understanding is Mr. Lester is not in custody. The arrest warrant was recently issued. It's my understanding that the appropriate law enforcement agencies have this information and are taking appropriate action.
Why no murder charge or attempted murder?
Sure. The defendant is charged with an A felony. It's the highest level of offense in the state of Missouri. It carries with it a range of punishment of 10 to 30 years or life imprisonment. Other charges may not carry that same level of range of punishment.
Can you say anything about what happened, what he's alleged to have done?
I don't want to litigate this case in the press. It's been my goal from the very beginning to get justice for the child involved in the case. And I don't want to jeopardize that by talking about the facts to the media.
Are also hate crime charges potentially here?
So in the state of Missouri, hate crimes can be E or D felonies, which carry with it a lower range of punishment than what the defendant is currently charged with.
But they can still be brought, right?
I'm not sure I understand.
You can still add additional charges.
At that point, you would be talking about double jeopardy issues.
A question some people have been asking us is why did it take several days for police to refer this case to you?
I know that the men and women of the Kansas City Police Department worked very hard on this case. There were things that had to be done in order to build it on a solid foundation. That means attempting to get a formal statement from the witness in the case. That means waiting for forensic laboratory results to be processed.
Where's Mr. Lester now?
I don't have that information.
Was there a racial component to this case, however?
As the prosecutor of Clay County, I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
Can you elaborate?
I'm not sure. I mean, what do you mean?
Was anything said that made you believe that this was a racially motivated shooting?
Sure. Everyone here, we've made copies of the probable cause statement to hand out to members of the press. There is no indication of anything like that within the probable cause statement.
What's to be said with the standard ground castle doctrine and all of that? People were asking whether that would be a factor in this case. What can you say about that?
Sure. Self-defense in the state of Missouri is controlled by Section 565031 and states, subject to the provisions contained in the statute, that a person may use physical force upon another person to the extent he or she reasonably believes such to be necessary to defend himself or herself or a third person from what he or she reasonably believes to be the use of imminent use or unlawful force. Beyond that, I don't want to comment specifics on the case in order to protect the integrity of the process.
Do you know why Mr. Lester was only held for about an hour at the police department before he was let go?
So in Missouri, the charges have to be filed within 24 hours of an arrest, or the defendant or suspect is released. In this case, it was clear that additional investigation needed to be done so that the case could be built upon a solid foundation.
Do you believe he's still in the area?
I don't have any information regarding his specific whereabouts, but it's my understanding law enforcement is aware of the situation and is taking all appropriate action.
Does he have any kind of criminal histories, you know?
And this is, I hate to repeat myself, but I would not think it's appropriate to comment on anyone's criminal history into the media. And that's the reason I'm doing that, is because I want to achieve justice for the victim in the case, and I don't want to jeopardize that by litigating the case in the media.
Can you tell us how old he is, and is he his race, ethnicity?
The defendant,
I'm sorry, yes.
he's 85 years old.
85. And is he white male, black male?
He's a white male.
And how many times did Mr. Lester shoot the young man?
The probable cause statement indicates that he shot twice,
In which areas of the body?
at the head and arm.
Is the probable cause statement outline where Mr. Lester was when he shot? Was it inside the house or just outside?
It does contain information about the whereabouts of Mr. Lester when he discharged his firearm.
Did he shoot through a glass door or a window?
The probable cause statement indicates that rounds were fired through a glass door.
And the young man never entered the home in any way. They were on the front doorstep, presumably.
The probable cause statement indicates that the victim in the case did not cross the threshold.
Did they knock on the door, ring the bell?
So those facts may be in dispute, so I'm not going to comment on that.
And it's still your opinion or the belief that they were there picking up siblings and they were there by mistake?
That's the evidence we have in the probable cause statement.
So do these charges mean, in your judgment, Mr. Lester did not act reasonably?
After a thorough review of the case, the facts of the case, I believe that a felony assault charges were appropriate, and also armed criminal action charges.
Can you tell us who spoke when they interacted?
The probable cause statement does not indicate that any words were exchanged.
What resources are you aware that could show some of those facts that are in dispute as far as home surveillance or police dash cam video?
As part of the investigation, law enforcement investigated that possibility that the incident would have been caught on camera, on video. That is not part of the case file.
Did anyone else witness this?
It's my understanding, no. The probable cause statement does not indicate that.
And there was no doorbell video, I'm sorry, you already answered that, but was there any other video of any type?
Sure, the probable cause statement indicates that there was no video of the incident.
Do you know what kind of gun it was?
It was a .32 revolver.
Do you know if Mr. Lester had like a right to, I know he has a right to carry, but does he have any sort of credentials or anything like that? Any sort of paperwork?
I don't have any information in regard to that.
Can you tell us what level penalty you'll be seeking on the Class A felony charge, the first result?
So the range of punishment on the A felony is between 10 and 30 years or life imprisonment. The range of punishment on an armed criminal action is 3 to 15 years. And that being said, that's the range of punishment available in the case. As far as trial strategy and talking about the case and litigating in the case in the media, I'm not going to do that because it's important to me to protect the integrity of the process and get justice for the victim.
What have the conversations been like with the family?
We are continuing to make efforts to speak with the family. I visited the house today, and I look forward to communicating with them further.
I just want to clarify, there's no made contact with Lester since.
I'm sorry?
You're not made contact with Lester.
I've not made contact with the defendant, no.
What would be your message to the community?
My message to the community is that in Clay County, we enforce the laws and we follow the laws, and that does not matter where you come from or what you look like or how much money you have. Everyone is held to the same standard.
And nothing about this process was different than any other investigation in your mind?
I think the Kansas City Police Department worked extremely hard. Lab results were obtained on an extremely short timeline. That's not something you see every day. All right. If there are no more further questions, I thank you for your time.